From Washington, this is VOA News. Pakistanis reportedly come under attack by Iranian forces. Boko Haram and Nigeria reach agreement to release kidnapped schoolgirls. I'm Vincent Bruce reporting from Washington. Pakistan officials report Iranian forces have killed an officer and wounded 3 members of its border security force. Ayaz Gul reports from Islamabad.
A spokesman for Pakistan's paramilitary frontier corps, which guards the southwestern border with Iran, says its personnel were engaged in a car chase to try to capture a group of what it called miscreants when Iranian forces opened indiscriminate gun and mortar fire at them. The rare clash occurred Friday, a day after Tehran warned it would intervene on the Pakistani side if the neighboring country failed to prevent terrorist infiltrations into Iran. Ayaz Gul for VOA News, Islamabad.
Nigeria has reached a ceasefire agreement with the Islamic militant group Boko Haram, which is expected to release the more than 200 schoolgirls who were kidnapped in April. Nigeria's highest-ranking military official, General Alex Bade, announced the agreement Friday.
I wish to inform this audience that a ceasefire agreement has been concluded.
He ordered all of the country's military chiefs to abide by the deal. Danladi Amadu, who calls himself Boko Haram's Secretary General, confirmed the deal to VOA's Hausa language service. 3 police officers reportedly have been injured in Hong Kong as police tried to control thousands of protesters returning to an area they were cleared from earlier in the day during a pre-dawn raid. Late Friday, Hong Kong law enforcement used pepper spray and batons on large numbers of protesters who were attempting to reclaim areas in the Mong Kok district. Witnesses say dozens of protesters were knocked to the ground and carried away by police. This is VOA News. Russian President Vladimir Putin told reporters at a high-stakes summit in Milan Friday that a deal had been reached between the presidents of Ukraine and Russia, at least for the winter, according to Putin, to restart the flow into Ukraine of Russian natural gas. He did not elaborate. Moscow stopped gas shipments to its energy-dependent neighbor in June over what it says are nearly $5 billion in unpaid gas bills. Mr. Putin, speaking after talks with Ukrainian counterpart Petro Poroshenko, urged European countries to help the Kiev government pay off the debt. The World Health Organization says the number of deaths from the Ebola outbreak has hit 4,555, with the number of confirmed cases at nearly 9,200. New numbers were released Friday, showing all but 9 of the deaths occurring in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Earlier, the WHO declared the nation of Senegal Ebola-free, 42 days after officials there reported a lone case of Ebola. Kurdish forces are now in their second month defending the northern Syrian border city of Kobani, aided by airstrikes from the U.S. coalition. The commander of U.S. forces in the Middle East says the fight for Kobani is providing the coalition with opportunities to destroy the group calling itself the Islamic State and keep them out of Iraq. VOA Pentagon correspondent Carla Babb has more.
The coalition's fight against Islamic State militants was an answer to a call for help from the forces inside Iraq. But now, most coalition strikes are hitting targets around Kobani, Syria, a town Kurdish forces have desperately fought to keep out of Islamic State hands.
Now, my goal is to defeat and ultimately destroy ISIL.
General Lloyd Austin, the head of U.S. Central Command forces waging war against Islamic State, or ISIL.
And if he continues to present us with major targets, as he has done in the Kobani area, then clearly we'll service those targets, and we've done so very, very effectively here of late.
Carla Babb, VOA News, the Pentagon.
Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius will learn his fate Tuesday when a South African judge will hand down the sentence over the shooting death of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. The judge adjourned the court Friday after lawyers delivered their closing arguments in the sentencing hearing. World Bank economists predict much of Africa will continue moderate growth over the next few years, but there are three exceptions to their forecast: the West African countries stricken with Ebola. Francisco Ferreira, the World Bank's chief economist for Africa.
The fear they create, what we call the aversion behavior on other people, on farmers, miners, workers, consumers.
Ferreira says that fear has created a reduction in the gross domestic product. I'm Vincent Bruce, reporting from Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.